Alright, there we go. Greetings. Greetings, fellow people. Welcome. I hope everyone's having a good Saturday. I know I probably wasn't gonna like stream on Saturday, but today I just decided to because, you know, why not? Because I've been working all fucking week and I hated it, and I also I spent some time. I don't know if I mentioned that. Actually, I don't even know when the last time I streamed. It's been like a minute since I streamed. I don't even remember when the last time it was. I don't think I ever streamed after hanging out with Ginger, or G-Call-Me, as if anybody's here watching knows them. But I was hanging out with him while he was over here with me, and we pretty much just went around and I pretty much got him to buy a couple of games at a mall and whatnot. I got a manga, so that's fun. I convinced him to buy some sort of very sus manga at a bookstore. But wait, hold on. Let me turn this down. This is gonna be kind of a. It's a little loud. I'm not sure how loud it is from. Well, it's probably not too loud for you guys, but and I forgot to turn off the notification sound on my phone. I'm stupid like that, especially when I'm streaming. Here, wait. Let me add something. Wow, they don't have much on this whole cruddy setting. But anyways, so yeah, basically, I pretty much just had G-Call-Me with me for a little bit, and then, like I said, we went to like the beach a little bit. We kind of like the mall. I think that's about it. I mean, that's all I can at least remember going, at least from the top of my head. But it was nice. It was nice that to finally see a friend who I met like online, and then he just is just there. He's a lot more skinny than I anticipated him to be. He's like a really scrawny guy, not gonna lie. But the ginger that he claims to be is no lie. He is a true ginger. I mean, he's not the first ginger friend that I've had in my life, so he's practically like the fourth or fifth friend I've had as a ginger. But other than that, it's a shocker to see him. He has a stubble face too, which is even more weird. But at least with that, we can actually at least move on with our lives and probably see each other again in the future. Maybe if God lets us let that happen again. But until then, I guess we'll pretty much just have to do what we are playing a part in. But I got my can of Dr. Pepper with me. If everybody's has a can of Dr. Pepper with them right now during this stream, let us all at least pray that we got, or pray to God that we got like a at least like if it's not a can, you have a cup of it, or just a small bottle of it, or maybe a 2-liter if you're that kind of a freak that likes to drink a whole 2-liter of Dr. Pepper. I mean, hey, that's on you, but let us all come together and gather around and at least appreciate what we got. Now, I don't know if anybody has been getting into the whole thing lately, and I know me talking about this is probably a little late. Regardless, I'm obviously a little bit late in the whole subject matter, but if any of you have been listening lately about the whole stop killing games, then you know for a while that shit has been going on for a good while. I don't even remember when it started. I have to like look up a Cursed Farms video on it. Actually, let me look that up. Cursed Farms. Hold up. Let me. Now, forgive me if I'm not going to read any chat immediately because of because I don't have a double monitor. I mean, I probably could make something somehow as a double monitor if I really want to. Actually, I probably could, but I have to like get my girl's laptop, and I don't want to do that. I mean, she's not using it right now, but still. Where is it? Capture Windows. Let me just mess around with it. Brave. Yeah, there it is. Okay. I gotta scale this a little bit because it's very, very weird on how this is set up. Let me just move this a little bit more just so. Okay, there we go. So right here, you can obviously see it's right there. And after this video got posted a couple weeks ago, it started to gain more attraction after a while. And I'm gonna try and find when he made this whole announcement for it. It's around here somewhere, and I'm pretty sure. Oh wow, he hasn't posted another Freeman's Mine in over a year. Holy shit! And yes, I do watch his Freeman's Mine clips. Fight me. let me scroll through, because I know it's somewhere like within 1 year, I believe, maybe even more. Or did I just pass it? I'm just an idiot. I might be an idiot. I'm just kind of like, yeah, it's probably not here. Probably not over here. Hang on. Here, let me search up in the search bar real quick. Stop killing games. I think this is what started it. So it's basically been a year. Yeah, basically, it's been basically almost a year since he launched this campaign, and since it's at the end of its launch cycle, Ross was like, "Oh shit, there's nothing like there's nothing going on because nobody's signing any, petitions for it," and so he's kind of worried that. Because of this one fucking guy, and I've watched his clips before too, and I watched through Ross's video when he first announced it, and when I was watching fucking Pirate Software's video of him explaining it, I was just kind of sitting here thinking like, dude, you sound like a fucking idiot, and I just moved on from it because I thought it meant nothing for his words against Ross's, because what Ross was talking about made actual more sense and had common sense than, what Pirate Software was talking about. And now, people online, which obviously people on the internet, they're going to be dumb, they're going to be listening to other people's opinions, and they'll think, oh yeah, what he's saying is probably right. And they just proceed not to fucking, have their own mind and be their own person and just actually do the research and look into it, rather than just listen to someone else's shit. But you know what? That's the internet for you, so I'm not going to complain, I guess. I mean, people can do whatever the fuck they want. But regardless of that, though, I feel like people are just not that smart. Now, I know I'm probably just, just saying that because I'm a dickhead, maybe, but at least people online, like the average person online, will probably just, at that time, just sat there and listened to Pirate Software's discussion about things, and basically just was like, oh shit, maybe onto something. Okay, I'm not going to sign this petition. And keep in mind, like, even if you try to sign this petition, you have to be a British citizen or a European citizen, like whether that's like in Germany, Romania, France, Italy, all those places that are in Europe. Would Russia still count? I don't even know, honestly. But apparently it's got like over I would say like 1.2 or 3 million concurrent like signatures of the Stop Killing Games initiative. I believe so. Wait, hold on. Let me.
Hello. This is.
Oh, I accidentally unpaused it, which I was not trying to do that. Sorry. Yeah, link to the European. Let me see this. So yeah, basically 1.3 million, and a small percentage of that could be spoof signatures, honestly. Like, just a very tiny fraction of those signatures could probably be, spoofs. So hopefully, the more people actually sign their actual like names and locations or whatever, it could have a higher chance of this going through and actually enforcing this law to make game development publishers actually fucking listen and actually do their fucking job properly and have the mind for the people and not for their well-being, just to spend. And honestly, you would think that, realistically speaking, you would think that people would who work in this industry, you would think that they would just be like, this is such wasteful money to just continuously spend money to keep servers up and running, shut them down, make another game, add another server for that factor, so on and so forth. Along with microtransactions, which I'm pretty sure they'll still make a lot of money for. But you think, realistically speaking, you would think that would just waste a lot of money and go for nothing if they're just going to do this continuous loop. If I was in that position, I might as well just keep the game servers up and running at that rate. If I had that choice, if I was making enough money to keep an online service multiplayer game or whatever, if I had that ability, I would still keep it up and running. No questions asked. I mean, sure, there will be probably a time where the servers will be destined to be shut down, obviously. No doubt about it. It's going to be like that no matter what, but at least, like... But when you do it at, at a pattern every time... When you do it at a pattern every fucking time when you release another game that's live service only or whatever, it's gonna raise a few eyebrows to certain people, and obviously a lot of people are waking up to this, no matter what kind of game it is. Obviously, like The Crew, for example, that was like the last straw that broke the camel's back kind of thing. So that kind of basically woke a couple people, like a lot of people up, and say like, maybe them doing this, they don't have the mind for the people rather than themselves. They rather make more money instead of just caring about the people who are buying the games. And they're not very what's the word I'm looking for? They're not very I'm trying to think of the word. Wow, I can't even think about it. They're not the companies that they started off when they first started off. They're not very humbled like they were. Like they're not being humbled. They forgot why they started being successful in the first place. It's because we, as the consumers, made them where they are today. And I'm not saying I'm one of them, obviously, because the only games I've personally ever bought myself from any of these companies, like EA or whatever, when I was younger, when like some of these games came out, I obviously had my parents bought all these games for me whenever I was younger. But realistically speaking, I never personally bought most of these games, but practically my parents did all the work for me to buy in some of these games whenever I was younger. But now, me as an adult, I have money, I have a job. I can't really, I have to buy the games for myself anyway, so. But, with that being said, though, me as a consumer as well, I feel like that there is like a thing where if you're gonna kill off a game later on, make it to where, like, what Ross explained about, like, give some piece of source code for someone to make a private server or whatever. And some of these, big tech industry corporation people, whatever, that they wrote a blog post, like literally discrediting the idea of it or whatever, and basically we're trying to like make false quotes, trying to attempt to destroy it, and basically say like, oh yeah, this will have like cybersecurity problems or whatever. Which, if that argument is stated and true, then let's look at their perspective. Let's look at how they handle the servers. They've literally got their security breached so many fucking times. Let's see, PlayStation, Xbox, possibly Nintendo. Like literally, any company out there that runs servers and all that shit are no better than us, if we're gonna make that argument. Personally, I fucking hate how they're trying to like do this whole thing, and it's like realistically it turns back around right back at them, because how funny is that? Like, how funny is the fact that they say this thing, but then it actually happened to them? It makes no fucking sense. And honestly, I don't fucking understand why they're doing this. If you really want to make money so badly, then make a fucking game that you can actually make a good profit off of and not destroy it after a while. Honestly. Don't call me a fucking yapper, and I will not eat that fucking broccoli. Honestly, I think Ross Accursed Farms is actually doing a pretty good job when it comes to this initiative. I mean, I'm at least happy the fact that someone's doing some shit about it, and at least like it's someone in Europe, where Europe can actually like take action against this whole kind of ordeal, legally at least, and that way companies like EA and all these other big tech companies can actually fucking listen. Because we definitely need to get this shit in check, because I feel like us gamers as well, and as consumers, are pretty much sick and tired of this bullshit. Because there are some games that I love to enjoy, but I can't play them natively on their own system anymore, because one thing, servers are shut down, have no access to internet connectivity on them anymore. I mean, of course, there's the private servers and whatnot, which is fine, but it's not the same, because all the progress that I've had, or all the progress that anybody made on those servers, is long gone. So the charm is gone. The original servers of all the levels and all these other things that were created on there is gone. So I won't be able to actually, have that anymore. Now, unless they come back with a brand new game and reopen or relaunch like the whole thing again, but the likeliness of that is kind of low. But we'll see. We'll see what the future holds from that. I mean, that really also goes to like any game that had online connectivity kind of thing. Now, obviously, depends on what game we're looking at. It depends on the gameplay, the whole reason behind it and whatnot. Like I said, it just depends on how it's made. But if it's a game like, like I said, like that one game. What was it? I just mentioned it before too. That what set off this whole initiative. Basically, what I mean. That type of game literally looked like it could be meant for single-player use as well, not just multiplayer. But they restricted it to where you have to have internet connectivity, regardless of if you can play single-player. You have to have internet connectivity no matter what. but since they shut down the servers, you can't even play single player mode, which is bullshit. Honestly, that's like saying if Little Big Planet, which that was technically an online only game, but you could still play single player anyways. But the only caveat is that you can only play levels in story mode or any of the DLCs or whatever that had like story mode in them, or just whatever you created on the moon. But let's say if they actually did shut down the servers on that game, and you couldn't play story mode or whatever because you have to have online connectivity because of that reason. That would have been bullshit, but luckily they didn't do that, because at least they give you the accessibility to play through the story mode and whatnot, or create your stuff on the moon still, even after the servers are shut down anyways. But even then, it's kind of like, if they did that, that would probably have been a whole nother can of worms right there. And it's the same thing with any other games that have multiplayer, like Bioshock 2's multiplayer. If they required you to play oh, fuck you. Oh my god, is that what you think I am right now? Fuck off with that shit. Oh, fuck you. Fuck yourself on that one, man. Like, shit. Oh, I was not expecting that, but fucking A. That was like the least thing I was expecting, but then you sent that shit, and that threw me off guard, and I was like, damn, what an insult. Oh my god. But anyways, it's pretty much the whole example of what I was saying that's basically how it would have been like if these older games were like that. Like, obviously, like Bioshock 2, we couldn't play the actual story mode unless you had internet connectivity. If they said they got rid of the servers for you to connect there. But even then, like, why would they do that if you bought the game for playing the story mode anyways, if it was Bioshock 2? Or yet, if they made a fucking game that was meant to be single player only and nothing else, like you just play the story mode, play it from beginning to end, that's it. But they still made you having to connect through online connectivity, like through the internet. What if they just pulled the plug or whatever and just said, haha, you can't play the single player game even though that's the only thing that the game was meant for. No other features or anything, and they just unplugged it. Say, oh, you bought the game anyways? Well, too fucking bad. $60 or $100 down the drain for you. Better luck next time, I guess. Like, really, like, seriously, who does that shit? That's like me making my game and making it to where you have to have online connectivity no matter what for you to play the game online. If you don't, you're shit out of luck. And honestly, I wouldn't do that shit. Even if someone pirated my game, I don't give a shit. Like, I mean, sure, scummy of them, but they can't just buy the game themselves and just, pay for it. At least pay for something that I worked hard for. But I'm not gonna, like, restrict anybody from, no matter what the situation is, if you have no internet connectivity or if you're just pirating the game, I'm not gonna, like, stop anybody from playing my game. I at least appreciate, though, if they just did pirate it and just played. I at least would still appreciate them playing my game regardless. Yeah, just mute me, why don't you? If you're gonna... mute me. Get me. Stop doing that. But yeah, like I said, even if they did, let's say, pirated my game, I would still appreciate them playing it. But I would also be more salty about it if they just didn't pay for it, because the only game that's actually free that I made is literally just Nightly Trash, and that was literally $5. People complained about it, how it was too short for it being $5, but even then, I was like, so what? It's just $5. You're acting like it's a $20 fucking priced game, which it wasn't. And the same thing for my game, like Anomalous Deception. It's basically $4, and it's still $4, and yet nobody's complaining about the price for some reason. Shockingly, but people just liked to complain about my first game when it was like only a 30-minute long playthrough. Which, it's free now if anybody wants to try that game out, Nightly Trash. That's like my first ever game I ever released onto Steam. I also have it like on my website, hfunnygames.net, if anybody wants to try that out. But you can buy Anomalous Deception on Steam and on my website. They're obviously, you have to pay for it to play it, but regardless of that, I'm not here to advertise my game. It's just kind of like a accidental segue to it for self-sponsoring. I didn't even mean to do that, honestly, but hey, go for it. But yeah, no, like it's just kind of sad though, the fact that we're already like getting to this point where we have to enforce a law just because the corporation overlords just don't want to listen to us, and we have to, we have to do this by force, by legal force, just for them to listen to us, which is quite unfortunate. Hang on, I have to go back to the stream. Yeah, it's smaller again. Damn it. I gotta increase the size. Hold up. What? Can I actually like stretch this out? Oh yeah, I can. Okay. Could have just done this a long time ago. I'm an idiot. There we go. It might look weird, but hey, it's whatever. But yeah, no, like, and then funny enough, after this came out, fucking Critical decided to post a video about it, and that gained a lot of attraction, a lot more than Ross Scott's own video, which is kind of funny. But other than that, though, like, I'm surprised, and I'm glad that this actually is kicking off. We definitely do need something like this to happen. Otherwise, we're not going to have games that we can either own completely, or even like just have games that will last for God knows how long. Because I feel like games nowadays are just gonna have like their server connectivity shut down like within like months without even advance notice, and it's just gonna be like that almost indefinitely if we don't take action. So I'm at least happy about that we're actually having the action taken. But with that, I think what was it? When is the initiative going to end? Actually, I don't know why I even closed it. If I was like deadline July 31st, I thought it was like July 27th or something like that. So it's going to end on July 31st. So at the end of the month, obviously, it's July 12th now, and it's still got a long ways away to, you know, before we even see any progress. And hopefully they do listen and actually make some legal action for this crap. Because I mean, I remember the last time that Europe did something about it when it came to any legal dispute with any other companies that were outside of European shit. was which was obviously most of them are taking place in the United States for these things. I think it was like what was it, like the iPhone like Volt charger or something like that. They had to like change that with the USB-C port. It was like the European Union basically forced Apple to like change them to USB ports, or they won't be able to sell any more of their Apple products there anymore. So they had no choice but to change it like that. And now all latest like Apple phones and all this stuff are now USB-C port based now instead of like the Volt ones that you plug them up to, which makes sense. Honestly, I think that makes more sense to do than having their own unique one. I mean, sure, like competition is competition, but like I feel like it's a bit excessive, especially with the USB port kind of thing. Which I feel like it was necessary for them to change that, for at least Europe to do that whole thing. And I feel like this is necessary for them to do this as well. And I'm hoping this actually works. I don't know how long it's going to take for it to take a full effect, but you know, I would at least be glad for this to happen within the next year, like the beginning of next year. I'm hoping. Which, if it doesn't, then we got some problems. And obviously my birthday's coming up, next week. So I'm at least happy that I'm going to be turning almost 30 each year. That's closing by. I'm going to be 27. Which is obviously a fantastic way. Huh? I'm going to be 27, and I don't know what I'm going to do with my life. Just kidding. I'm still going to be making games. I was building a fucking model, but then I got fucking lazy. I haven't modeled anything in like a while since the last time I modeled for the game. Another game I'm working on. Which, if you guys want to know what I'm doing for my next game, just go to my Patreon. Easy as that. You can probably find it. Well, you can obviously find it on my Twitter/X account, on my link in thing. I don't remember what it was. But you can just go to my profile. I have a multiple link thing page. It's literally there, Patreon there. But you have to like obviously be a member just to see it all. If you want to know what the next game is, then that's where I'll post it there. But I haven't posted there lately because I've been too busy with work. But I am going to try and go back and doing that whole habit, posting things on there and whatnot again. And that's probably what I'm going to where I'm going to post most of my stuff anyways. Of whatever progress I make and whatever, any new things I will show off, which is on there. And no longer, I'm not really going to post anything on Twitter about any progress or anything about the game until maybe like if there's something like really good that can catch people's eyes, and I can just post it on there and just say like, here, if you want to see more progress updates or whatever, you know, go to Patreon, on my Patreon page and whatnot. That's probably what I'll do. I'll do that, and yeah, just pretty much just do it that way. But obviously, I won't make a full announcement about the game until I think the game is ready to be announced, which I want to do an announcement trailer for that said game in the future. When that'll happen, I don't know. I really need to stop being lazy and actually start doing it, because I mean, obviously I have to rethink about what gameplay mechanics I want to do with this new game. I also need to think about if I should keep the style or replace the style, which honestly, I want to keep the style of what I did with the previous game, because I don't want to remake everything from scratch again, which I know that might be frowned upon, at least like in modern day, but like I'm one guy. I'm not like a company with multiple different teams behind my back. Like, obviously I had a couple people help me out with my last game, only because I didn't have the actual experience to do it myself personally, compared to how I kind of knew what I was doing with Nightly Trash. So I obviously had to like get some talent, like well-talented people, like a couple of talented people, just for them to even, you know, make what I actually have this vision in mind. And I may or may not come back and bring these guys again. We'll see. We'll see what the future holds, if they're willing to take up the challenge again. I mean, who knows? Maybe they'll maybe I'll get them both on board at the same time. Who knows? But I at least appreciated what they did when it came to putting it all together. Because I pretty much was mainly the creative director at this point. I was mainly the creative director of the whole game at that point. I mean, sure, I did some programming about the player, some of the sequences. I did most of the modeling. I did most of the texturing. Some of the animation. I say some, obviously, but they did most of the work. They did all the animations. They did all the programming. Some effects. Obviously, the shaders were all mine, because I did all that from scratch. But the only thing that obviously minus like the sound effects or whatever, those are like commercial use sound effects that had to be added on there, because like, you know, I can't just make my own sound effects from scratch with like a shitty quality mic like I'm using right now, which I'm waiting to get my stuff back so I can at least use my microphone again to stream. But you know, gotta love family, because they don't want to do things for you, even for your damn birthday. But yeah, no, like I'm still kind of like floating this new idea for my next game in my head, just figuring out what style it should be and how. I mean, I practically got an idea story in mind of how this will play out. And I have some ideas of how the gameplay is going to be, the visualization of it. I just need to figure out how to like get it all executed, how I'm going to like do all this sort of stuff, and I'm still trying to figure everything out. But other than that, it's in progress. It's just a slower progress than I initially am doing, like how I did with the anomalous deception. So let's see. Nightly Trash took me about 2 months to make, and I was able to release it within 3 months or so afterwards. Or a couple months, actually, because I started releasing it in February, like early February, if I remember correctly. And then afterwards, I took a full year hiatus trying to figure out what I wanted to do with the next game. And then during that whole hiatus, the whole Unity per install fee crap happened, and then I was like, you know what? Fuck this shit. I'm going to Unreal. And honestly, good choice for me, because I loved how Unreal Engine. I was always fascinated with Unreal Engine ever since I was like really young, because one of my most top favorite games was obviously Bioshock. Bioshock was one of the games that was made in Unreal Engine. I think it was made in Unreal Engine 3.5 or something like that. And then once I did, I started filling it around with it a lot. And I obviously went through like I looked through their whole legal shit, researched everything before I even intend to like make a full-fledged game on Unreal Engine. And originally I was going to do Unreal Engine 4, but then I wanted to do next gen, which is Unreal Engine 5, which honestly, I did not realize this until after the fact, because at the time, even right now, because obviously I couldn't switch over a different GPU because I still had to pay off the GPU that I was using. And I just paid it off, and I now want to replace it. But apparently, Unreal Engine 5, you have to have an RTX graphics card. Fucking stupid. I shouldn't have to use the latest tech just for me to build my fucking game. Because, okay, so like every time you make a build, basically you're making a build, obviously you have the whole application they can run off instead of just, using the project file, obviously. If any of you non-tech nerds don't know what I'm talking about, then this is pretty much the simplicity. Basically, game is made on engine. Engine's what you make the game off of. In order for that engine to be making into a game, you have to build it into the game itself. But me could not make game itself because engine was made for latest tech hardware, but me did not have latest tech for my computer. So instead, I had to rely on somebody else to make the build for me. And that's how it was for a while. And I'm gonna replace my GPU soon. When? I don't fucking know. Honestly, I don't even know when I'm gonna actually get it. Like, it doesn't have to be the latest RTX, as long as it's an RTX GPU. I can be good. I can at least build the game without any struggles. But even then, it costs a lot of fucking money. Like I said, it doesn't have to be the latest. It doesn't have to be the latest RTX 50 series GPU. As long as it's an RTX brand, that could be a 20 series, 30 series, 40. Doesn't matter. As long as I can afford it and pay for it, I can still at least use it to not only game, but also, make my games and, release them without any struggle. And rely on somebody else to build the game for me. But at least with the fact that, though, is that I still need to at least get my computer here, and I still need to at least, replace it. And all this other shit. But once that does happen, I'll at least be able to do it without any struggle. Now, in Unreal Engine, it's not a perfect engine. Just like Unity, both of them are not going to be perfect. Neither is Godot, even though Godot has gone into a little bit of controversy lately for a little bit. I'm not sure if it's still going on or not, but I think some of the people just abandoned it and recreated it because obviously Godot's open source is not even a locked only you have to get this specific type of engine, no other engine, because they can't legally do that if it's open source. So I think they just took the source code of it, rebranded it as Rito or something like that. I'm not sure how good they are. I'm not sure if they're even better than Godot, because I guess some person who is running the Twitter account or whatever is being very lefty, I would say. I'm not going to get into the whole subject matter of it, but apparently they're being so far left crap going on about it. But like I said, I'm not going to get into it. If you want to research that, you can. It's on YouTube. A couple people talked about it lately anyways. Well, I would say lately as in a few months ago or so. But anyways, yeah, I don't, like I said, Godot, Unreal, Unity, and I'm pretty sure a whole few other engines out there that you can use for free. They're not all perfect. They all have their flaws. The only reason why I stuck with Unreal Engine is because it gave me a little spark in me that I've had for ever since I was really young. And Unreal and obviously BioShock 1 and 2, and obviously Infinite, they gave me that sense of spark that made me want to make games on that specific engine because, like I said, it just had its charm that I liked. I'm not sure if it's because of how it's set up. I'm not sure if it's because Ed Boon, is that what his name is? The creator of Epic Games and Unreal Engine. I love it. I personally love how it's set up. I love how it's, the way how you can program things is simple. Not as simple as I want it to be, but it's at least simple enough to where I can at least understand most of the programming. And at least like with, unlike Unity, obviously, at least you don't have to like create everything from scratch, because I know there's like certain things like I wanted to do this with my game, but I would always have to like program everything from the ground up for that specific feature. But obviously, like at least with like Unreal Engine, they just have it already pre-made for you, and if it's your choice if you want to add it into your game or not. And I at least was happy about that, because there was like certain things that confused the shit out of me, and I didn't know what to do with Unity at the time. And honestly, I didn't even want to do anything with Unity for a while, because I was just so annoyed of how it worked. But now, since I made obviously Nightly Trash, I obviously just kind of like went with it, and I've obviously had to use like a plugin system to do most of the programming for me, which is I think it was like what, Playmaker. I think I used Playmaker if I remember correctly, because that's like a plugin visual scripting thing. Basically, it was easily accessible. The only downside is that you have to pay like $60 or some shit like that for you to just use it. And the only issue about that though with Playmaker is that it's very limited on what you can do. Obviously, it's only useful for like basic games. And I've seen some people who made like really good games off of Playmaker just by using it for Unity. But you can't make any complex game systems with it. Obviously, you have to have some knowledge with C#, which I lack the knowledge of it pretty much. But other than that, though, yeah, like Playmaker did its best of what it was advertised when I used it, at least. And I was going to use it again for my next project, but like I said, the whole Unity per install fee thing happened, and I was just like, no, I am good now. I think I want to switch. And a lot of people did. A lot of people also made the switch because they didn't want to deal with that shit. Even after the CEO, who was also apparently worked as a CEO in EA at the time, who basically finally resigned. Even after he resigned, people still switched to a different engine, whether that was Godot or Unreal or any other engine. And honestly, I did the same. I obviously did the same, and I didn't want to go back to Unity. The only time I would ever go back to Unity, if it's like, say, I would do an animated series. That's probably the only reason why. The only reason why I wouldn't do an animated series on Unreal Engine is because you have to like pay this like whole like ridiculous kind of amount of like payment every month to do like an animation thing for it, which is ridiculous on its own. But the only reason why I wouldn't for Unreal Engine for an animated series is because it's just simple to do animations on there, honestly. It's so simple to do animations in Unity than it is Unreal, because obviously in Unreal you have to like do all these extra works and have to set it up completely just for it to work properly. But even with that, I still would not use Unity for games, regardless. At least as of right now. Even now, I'm still not going to. I'd rather just stick with Unreal. If I ever own a company, which I really want to like make a business, like create an LLC and just do that, which I might do that in the future, honestly, like in the near future. Once I do that, then I can get like a business loan, and once that business loan is there, I can get a good amount of team that I can afford and actually just set up that progress for another game. But but that's like I don't know. I want to build a business and make either a series or just another video game. Who knows? Maybe I'll just use this game that I'm currently working on and make it into a business with it. But still know that I am still making this game, but it's just like under a new umbrella. Who knows? We'll have to wait and see in the future about that. And apparently, has anybody heard about the game called Brickcadia? That just came out yesterday, and apparently it's supposed to be like the successor to Blockland. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people don't know what Blockland is. This game I loved, and I missed playing this game. I missed its popularity, I missed its peak, I missed when there was still a lot of people playing this. Like, this game was practically a part of my childhood, too. And obviously, when I think it was like Bad Spot or whatever, the guy who made this game, I think I have him followed on Twitter as well. Bad Spot, who created this game, when he updated the game, because I remember I had this game way before he made this big update where it has like better shaders and removed the fucking bedroom maps and all these other maps it had with it. He wanted to make it to where like you can make whatever you want, kind of big free open space, which I get that. I get he wanted to do that, but at the same time it's like you could have just done that while also keeping the old maps with it. I don't understand why that he removed it. I would love to know why he removed it. But it's unfortunate that literally it's sad that the fact that after that update the game just kind of slowly went down and declined after that. Now I know there's like a mod or whatever that brings back the classic maps and all that stuff, but keeps the shaders with it. But I think I've heard something that you have to have like a fucking your old Blockland key or whatever, which I lost that long fucking ass time ago. And last time I've ever used it was to get access to Blockland on Steam, which I still have. I still have Blockland on Steam, and that's how I got access to it. To set Steam. So, and I think like the last update it had was literally like a decade ago, at least, if I remember correctly. So, now since this game is practically dead, and I know there's still servers up and running, let me go ahead and go to blockland.us. So, servers. Yeah, there's still servers up, but there's nobody in these. Almost nobody. There's maybe like one person per server now. But yeah, the game is pretty much just dead. And it's sad to see that. Because I really did wish that, I really wish this game was still thriving. And I would love to have my Blockland key again, just so I can use that mod too, to use it. But since I don't, I'm practically just at a loss. And to be honest, though, Blockland is a little outdated, but that's what has its charm. That's what Blockland gets its charm. It's nostalgic, like feel to it. Like, you know, if anybody has ever played Blockland, I'm pretty sure you can understand what makes Blockland so unique in its own factor. But now with Arcadia coming out, it is pretty much like Blockland, but more modernized. But the only issue about that, though, is that it's not Blockland. It's not Blockland. It's pretty much a mimic of. It's trying to mimic what Blockland did, but make it more modern. And I feel like with Bricadia that just came out, and I played like the demo, I played the closed alpha version, like a couple of years before it even became like a thing on Steam. I tried it out, I played it. It brought me back some nostalgic for Blockland, and it made me want to go back and play Blockland again too after that. But it had its own charm, but it didn't give me that charm of what Blockland had. It made me miss that. I really did wish that Blockland was still a big thing to this day. And I think the only reason why what Blockland made so popular as well is because of it had mod support. And I think it was made in like the Torque engine or something like that. And I think obviously I think it could like easily mod the game on there because of that reason. And Bricadia is made in Unreal Engine 4, 5. I think it's made in Unreal Engine 4. I have to like look it up. Bricadia. Doesn't say anything about its Okay. So I was technically right. Bricadia is made in Unreal Engine 5, but they just switched it. Well, they switched it like a couple of years ago, but you know, it's made in Unreal Engine 5, so I'm at least right about that. But you know, like see how modern this website is right here compared to this. It's so outdated, but it's so nostalgic though. And I miss this. I miss like old websites that used to look so nostalgic but also outdated a little bit. And I'm not complaining to make it modernized when it comes to websites and video games, but like I still at least appreciate some of these things that they keep on here. And I wish Badspot could, I don't know, maybe remaster the game into like a new engine, maybe Unreal Engine or something like that. I don't know. Like modernize it a little bit, but also like, you know, keep the same feel to it. Like I wish he could do that. I wish like he could just do it like that for this game. But I don't think he's gonna touch it anymore. I think he's pretty much done with it at this point. And I hope with this one, we can at least like get that feel to it that we never had in a while. build anything. And literally, I think that's the only reason why it's not going to be mod supported, because you can practically just build anything that you want without having to rely on mods. And since it's harder as well to mod things on Unreal Engine games, unless you have like some sort of like mod loader that's built for that. I'm not an expert when it comes to stuff like that, but I'm pretty sure that's how it works, from my understanding. See, and this is exactly like how Blockland does it. Man, it's so crazy how similar it is to Blockland, and obviously, it's literally a heavily inspiration of Blockland, but it's just more modern. I know that for certain, but it's like it's so like crazy of how they did this. Modding tools soon. Good building modding tools. I'll add custom content to the game. Okay, so at least that they're planning on adding modding tools to this, but it's not immediate. At least they're allowing like mod supports in mind when the game fully comes out, I'm assuming. But like, even with mod support, I feel like that there's really any use to it. That's how I see it. Especially if you can just build anything. Like literally, you can build bricks and use them and make a, like, basically you just use any bricks and build a car or whatever. You don't even need to fully model a low poly car to make it look like it's a blocking game, like how they did with Blockland. And I think this game is like $30 right now on Steam. Yeah, it's like $30 for early access. $30 for this game, I would buy it right now, honestly. But I'm on a fucking budget, and that sucks with this fucking economy. I wish we could go back to the 1950s, where everything was just like in pennies, like 50 cents or some shit like that. That would have been fine. You can actually pretty much just live off of just having one car, sustain a family in one house. And obviously minus like the whole, problems that we had as a society, but at least like when it came to the economy, at least with that was pretty fire back in the 50s. I don't know why I'm saying like back in the old days, we had a better economy, which obviously we did, but now obviously with our new president of the United States, well, not our new president, but the president that we had before Biden is back in the White House and actually fixing some stuff and whatnot, but not gonna get into that. Which kind of fixed the economy a little bit, but it's still as bad as it once was still. It's just, and like literally, like the question is like, why haven't we solved the inflation problem? Why haven't we figured out a way where we can just deflate the economy somehow? Like literally, like us as Americans, we're paying our tax dollars to the government, and they can't even figure out how to deflate the economy. They don't have time to like, I guess they don't have time to like figure out these sorts of things, which they obviously could if they really want to, but they just choose not to. I'm just rambling on about politics, and I'm just showing off an old game that literally is being revitalized into a modern game. Made by totally different people. And these are made by totally different people. Batspot made Blockland, and I think it's like a group of people who made this game. Kind of early access. It's just a lot of early access questions. But yeah, no, like, I would love to see this game either be remastered, remade, reimagined, maybe. It would be so great to see Blockland back in action. I would love to get in contact with Batspot again. Not again. I would love to get in contact with Batspot, the creator of Blockland, to see if he has any plans with the game in the future. What would he do with it? Or if he's gonna do anything with the game, like at all, or just, you know, kill it off as soon as possible. Because I don't like to see this game die either. I will always hold this game dear to my heart. I would love to still play this game, even when Batspot, the developer, is no longer supporting this game, which he hasn't. Which is why the game is probably dying out and outdated. He hasn't even added new features at all either. That's the only thing. And obviously he had some people helping out with this game too. Just like how I had to get some people to help out with my game to add some things. So it's like he probably either couldn't afford to pay them anymore or something like that maybe. Or maybe he just wanted to move on with other things. Hell if I know. I'm not his brain, so I wouldn't really know. But that's just me summarizing a speculation. But yeah, no, like I really genuinely would love to see this game thrive again. Playlist. Oh yeah, here's his actual channel. Wow, he hasn't uploaded anything in like 10 months. And I'm assuming that's his new game that he just released. Yeah, all he posts is just random stuff, and these were like years ago. I like how he made this channel specifically for Blockland, but now he just has this as like his own channel instead of himself. Which is kind of weird. You couldn't have just created another channel, which I mean, I get it, you don't want to like lose all the subscribers and whatnot. You probably wouldn't even get as much subscribers if you just had a separate channel of yourself compared to Blockland. I know that feeling, honestly. I would do this exact same thing. So I really can't be saying shit to him. Wow, this is like back in 2024, huh? It's unfortunate, though. It really is unfortunate. You should make a Lego building game next. That's actually pretty funny. I love how some people are even poking fun at him, saying like, "Hey, you should make a Lego building game again." Just for, you know, just to poke fun at you. Honestly, he probably should though. He probably could get good at making another one, especially a more modern one at best. I mean, all of these are pretty much supportive anyways. I'm at least like, bring back bedroom, or I will reveal your secrets. Yeah, I only get this joke because he's talking about the Blockland bedroom map level in Blockland. Because he removed it after like a certain update, which I brought it up like earlier, but yeah. I think his website is badspot.us, I believe. Yeah. Yeah, he's just been making comics lately too, I've noticed. And that's his new game that's coming out. It's 2D too. Articles. Oh, that's pretty heartwarming. People, are these like fan arts, or is this his drawings? There's like no context into this. It's just a piece of art. Obviously, these most likely are his art. So yeah, I'm pretty sure this is just him like just letting the guys know on here as like, hey, never forgot about the game, but tier lists, blog posts, 30 printed LCD game show. I think I've seen some of these too that he just like sells other things instead of just video games, but I forgot its name. Some of these are kind of crazy. Perennial Legions. I'm assuming that's like a mod for like Fallout New Vegas. There's the original Blockland. Blockland prototype, which was probably like the earliest version of said game before it actually came out as Blockland. It looks like most of these are just like modded games for other games. I mean, I'm really happy that he's like moving on and doing other things. Yeah, there's his Twitter. And I did follow him. When was this posted? Wow. That was like the last time since he posted? That's fucking crazy. Honestly, that is insane. Oh, sorry, I didn't even get a chance to read any of these on Twitter. My bad. For all Unreal's faults, it's still the engine I like most. I only stopped using Unity because they became untrustworthy, and looks like they're still untrustworthy. Not gonna lie, I can pretty much agree. Same. Ever since I spent time actually learning Unreal Engine seriously, I couldn't see myself ever going back to Unity. 25 cents for coffee. Hey, if coffee was 25 cents though, I would definitely actually just buy coffee for 25 cents. No questions asked. Yeah, I apologize, Crumb. I didn't even realize you were doing some chats on here. I was kind of like just sidetracked for ranting and whatnot. I don't even have like multiple monitors, so I only have like one, and it's kind of hard for me to keep track on chats a lot. Since I'm multi-streaming too, which doesn't help. But yeah, no, like, I still at least appreciate the My God, what are these? But yeah, no, like I at least appreciate what he did for making this wonderful game of Blockland, and I wish that he could come back and do something about it. But obviously, he's his own person. He pretty much wants to do what he wants to do with his spare time and whatnot. I'm pretty sure he's got like an actual important job that he makes way more than probably what he could ever do for like a video game. And honestly, same, but I don't even make enough to make a living. Would love to make a living off of video games, but you know, since I don't, it's kind of a pain in the ass. But yeah, no, Bricadia is whoops, I spelled that wrong. Bricadia. I have not heard about this game until I watched a random video when I was searching up Blockland and someone was like comparing the two and talking about it. So I was just kind of like, what the fuck's Bricadia? Whoops. I'm clicking all over the place right now. Yeah, I think I've watched this earlier too. And literally the only thing that they're only showing is just them building stuff and literally just showing off the physics engine of Unreal. I don't know why, but the song. Here, wait, hold up. Let me actually stop playing the music background. The song, the way how it plays out like this, kind of reminds me of this. Hang on, let me do this real quick. Early trailer. Where is it? No, not that one. There's a whole totally different one. I think it was this one. It kind of reminds the song from Bricadia reminds me of this when it plays a song like that. Man, I remember that classic IGN logo right there. I don't know why, but this just clicks in my head every time I listen to that song now in their trailer. That could be just me, but especially how they present everything with physics and creating things, I'm gonna be thinking about this. I mean, I really do miss this game, I'm not gonna lie. Blockland and Little Big Planet. Now, I'm not gonna be a cringe person saying like, put F in the chat for these games that died and are no longer supported, because that's. Should I say it like for what the cool kids say? Brain rot. Honestly, I don't even think brain rot would be the right term to use. But yeah, no, this just like hearing this would remind me of that. It's like practically, it's not exactly, but it's similar to it. Maybe they got the inspiration off of that trailer, maybe, and they just try to recreate it in some similar way, fashion. That is pretty cool that you can make a bridge do that. I think someone even said in the comments on this video saying like, how is this game not lagging? I don't give a damn it's a supercomputer, but like, how is this not lagging with all these physics going on? And that's kind of what I'm wondering too, especially if it's made in Unreal Engine. Like I said, I would love to buy this and try it out. But honestly, I don't even know if I really even want to buy it. At least like immediately. Because, like I said, I'm a poor motherfucking man. Sure, I may have made like over like 1,000 within the year of my first game of Nightly Trash, but that's not enough to cover the bills. And that's like within 1 year. In like a little bit of a time span too. Who knows? Maybe one day I'll actually make a profit off of making my own games, but that's like. But let's just see how well. Actually, I haven't even checked how many sales I made for Anomalous Deception lately. I mean, I'm pretty sure the Steam sales event already ended already. I think yesterday, right? I think it ended yesterday. And I don't know if I made any sales. I doubt it though. I mean, from what I've checked recently during the early days of the Steam sales event, didn't look like anything changed for me. But who knows? Maybe it's different. I could check actually right now. Let me go check. Steam. Might have to relog back in actually. Surprisingly not. Maybe I should do another discount event. Just because. Let me check. I know you guys can't see anything, but you know, yeah, nothing changed, even after that whole event thing that went on. How unfortunate, but you know, hey, it is what it is. I would have at least hoped that it would gain similar attractions like how it did with Nightly Trash when it first came out, but I think the only issue, the reason why it didn't get enough attraction at that time, or at least it didn't get enough traction with this game like how it did with my first game, is probably because I executed it poorly, especially when it came to early access release. There was not enough time to prepare for it, and there was not enough time, and there was not enough content to drop into it for it to get momentum out of it. I think that's the only issue that I've had with my game when I first released it as early access. It wasn't enough time to prepare and not enough content to just throw it out there for people to be excited and try it, kind of thing. And that's kind of a big oopsie on my part, and I wish that I could advertise it more. But I don't know. Like I said, I want the game to still be out there. I still want it to just, get some attention. But it is what it is. I'm not too upset about it. It's not like I'm really expecting much out of it anyways. It's just an idea project that I enjoyed. And I put all my passion, my dream come to life, my idea of a game of how this is supposed to be. It executed properly, executed very well, and I am at least happy about it. But just the way how it went out there publicly. I know it didn't get its spotlight, unfortunately. Maybe this next game will be different. How long will it take for me to make this? Who knows? Probably another whole fucking year, like how this game is. Because literally, for like almost an entire year, for an anomalous deception to be in early access. Literally, almost a whole year. And once I released it fully as a full game, and I'm not gonna lie, the last update I posted on there, and I even informed people saying, "Hey, this is the last update. I'm claiming this as a complete game." And I was basically saying like, "Hey, I'm done making updates for this game. I'm gonna move on to the next project." So I didn't even really like, fuck, now I just lost track. But I basically just yeah, I don't know. I just basically kind of just said, "Hey, I'm done with the game. I'm moving on to the next project," and kind of just I honestly like I wanted to continue making updates, but I didn't know what else there is to update and fix because technically all the bugs that I noticed and found were already fixed. And Ginger, my friend, who is Gkami, who live streams often, more often than I do, because he has like a set schedule to stream, unlike me. But he only played my game once, and that was like he only played the day one version of my game when it was just came out of early access. Well, it just came out to be as early access, I should say. And I've already mentioned him so many times that I was updating the game. I released an update 2, and I already told him that there was soon going to be update 3. And once I did release an update 3 version, I told him that. And then once I finally got to meet him in real life and we chilled out for a little bit, I pretty much told him like, "Hey, you still have yet to play it." But he even obviously said, I didn't even mention it to him, but he pretty much just said, "Yeah, I still have yet to play your game fully." I was like, "Yeah, it's already out of early access. It's now a full game, and I'm already done updating the game now, and you still have yet to play it." But he's aware of that. He says he's gonna go back and play it. When will he? No idea. I don't even know when he'll actually. Oh, that was a random post recommended to me. Sorry, I was like looking at something. But yeah, I don't know when he will. I'm hoping soon, and if he does, let's see. I at least want to know when. I at least want to know when he does it, because once I do know, I'm gonna see how he plays it. I'm obviously not gonna like react to it live or anything like that, because obviously there's no reason for that. I mean, obviously I'll be in the chat, just talking to him and messing with him, just to see how he's gonna play it out. And I did tell him there's a whole lot more stuff into it than what he did last time when he played it. So there's obviously a lot more stuff. So hopefully we can actually get to see him play more of it. I hope he gets to play more of it in the future. Oh, Faf9 is streaming on Twitter as well. I didn't even realize that. Try not to melt in the heat. Man, try being in Florida or some shit. Oh, oops, I accidentally went to Steam. I did not want to go to Steam. Are people already, like, reviewing the game?
So,
I've already
folks,
played it.
It is finally out. Today, we're going to be checking out the early access of Bricadia. And, folks, we're going to be checking out some builds, breaking some physics, and we're going to even go into some of the online cities. And, folks, it is one of the most impressive early access games I've ever seen. And stay tuned until the end.
Impressive. Probably more
in.
impressive than mine when I had it
So
out
I'm
on
super
early
excited
access.
to get to check this game out. So, this creation you see behind here is just one of the worlds that I've downloaded. And folks, everything that you see is made in-game. Now, not only is this thing absolutely beautiful, this locomotive actually functions. So we can climb aboard. By the way, there's a breakdown, I believe, of the build back there. We'll check that out in a second.
It's so highly detailed with so many small pieces.
There's an actual air brake. I believe the reverser's set to forward, so as soon as I release that brake, it's going to start chugging here. There we go. Boom. Listen to that. Hold on, let's jump off. And look. That is absolutely insane looking. So this is just some of the possibilities here in Bricadia. I don't know where that actually goes to. I'm hoping it's a cliff. So yeah, what do you say, Han? Can we give this a little, wait, this is a hatch. Oh, that opens up the top there. Yeah, there's a lot of things that you can interact with on this. Also, check this out. This is the throttle, so you can click, and then if you pull it back, it'll speed the locomotive up. Not gonna lie, my mind is already blown right now. So yeah, could you imagine like full train setups with passenger cars and stuff? Oh, it's gonna be so good. So let's see.
Insane.
Okay, I can make that go backwards with the reverser. Click it forward here. That's just the light. Trying to see what other buttons we can interact with here. So yeah, she's chugging along. I'm actually learning some of the controls. There's a lot of tools in this game. There's a lot to learn, but I don't think it's going to be that bad. I think once you get used to the basic building system, plus you could save stuff as like prefabs. So say like vehicles. Or I believe you can just save it into the entire world, which is pretty incredible. So we do have a catalog here. This shows you all the different bricks that you can use. I mean, you name it, they pretty much got it in here to be able to build. Plus, there's some pretty good tutorials already built into the gallery, how to use like logic and stuff. So definitely gonna have to go over some of that. But if we go to items here, you can see we have launchers, we have throwables, firearms. There's a wide weapon variety here, melee weapons, and you have miscellaneous, which soda cans. I have to test out some of the weapons. We got suppressed rifles. Honestly, super impressive. And let's grab the jumper here. It's fine. I just grabbed whatever the heck this thing is. On, let's fire it off. And oh, okay. I want to say this thing might be locked to the tracks, but you do have player-to-player damage. Also, if like it's a vehicle, you can definitely hit it with the rocket launcher and fling it up through the air. Speaking of flinging, what is the jumper? What does this? Okay, I don't think that's the way we're supposed to use this thing. I should probably read the description on it. See, the jumper, special training version of the rock. Oh, it's a trainer. So it makes it where you can't actually blow people up. But yeah, weapon variety is impressive.
But yeah, I'm not gonna watch this whole video, but like, he's pretty much just showing off the how the game is. It pretty much is just Blockland, obviously. Obviously, Komodo Gaming just released a video about this yesterday, and I mean, watch the whole video if you want. I mean, shit, I would love to play this game. Yeah, he pretty much just shows off the basics of what this game is. Probably a couple multiplayer worlds too that he went in. But yeah, no, like, I really think that, I really do think that the game could probably also, obviously the game is still in early access. Ooh, I can't even speak, wow. But even then, like, it still looks pretty good even for an early access game. No bugs, no glitches. I mean, so far. But I'll have to play it myself in my own spare time. Whenever that happens, I mean, I guess we'll have to wait and see. I don't even know if I'll stream it though, because literally the game is meant to like play online with friends. But I don't know what I'm doing. But yeah, I don't know. It's been a wild week for me. Not gonna lie, I've just been working a whole lot, and I wish I could have spent so much of that time just working on my game and just not being in a job position that I hate working at. 'Cause working at a place that you don't enjoy working, but you only are there because you're getting paid to be there, and unfortunately, you have to wait until you get the money, which is not a good amount enough to even go through by in life. You just barely scrape it by. Bullshit. But it's whatever, I guess. It's a type of job position that I can have for now until either my career is in full swing, or I just get another job that pays better that I also hate. Whichever it is, if may God literally bless me with a good career path that I'm happy about it. I pray for that. Like, I genuinely actually do pray for that to happen. For me to just have like a good paying job that, whether that's 6 figures or just at least more than enough for me to get by in life, I don't have to worry about, you know, bills and whatnot every time that even every new month comes by. I'm at least hoping for that. I pray for that. But what my plan is, though, I may. I say I may. I may pitch it to a company like maybe Tiny Build or something like that to show off the idea of my game. Just to see if they would be interested in my game idea and fund me for the game, just so I can at least like have enough to like get the game worked on and whatnot, so that way I can at least like get it out there more, have a better marketing strategy and whatnot. I at least want to pitch it out to a company that can, you know, obviously pay me for the shit. And if that does happen, you know, I'm pretty much set. I'm set. And maybe the game will be in consoles. Who knows? But I will at least like try. I'll at least like try to do that. And I have some other ideas in mind about the game too. That is not just like you play a story and then that's it, or you play the game in the story mode or whatever, and that's it. I had some other ideas in mind. You know how like Amnesia, like the Dark Descent, the first Amnesia game that came out. You remember how they added custom stories? I kind of want to do something like that. Like, just pretty much just use whatever you have that was already built into the game and just craft together like your own little custom story. Now, that'll probably take a lot longer, especially the way how that works. Especially if I want it to be, let's say, like, be uploaded to the Steam Workshop and you have to download it there and have it loaded in there for play mode. Oh, what was that? Hold up. Well, thank you for the follow, Rose. Much appreciated. I'm at least hoping, though, for that. If I do end up with that idea, because I would at least like a good enough team to even, you know, do such things at least. Whoops, accidentally hit my space bar. But yeah, no, like if I do, like I said, I would need a good enough team to like do all that programming and stuff like that, especially when it comes to putting that idea together. Especially like when it comes to putting it on Steam Workshop, downloading it, and have it be only in play mode instead of editing it, unless the creator of that said level wanted it to be, you know, modified if they wish. But we'll see how that goes. Hopefully in the future it'll probably I guess we'll see. I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait and see how that turns out in the future if I make this next game. Like I said, I'm probably gonna do a little prototype of it, just a little bit of it. Maybe get someone to help me program it a little bit, just so I can show off some of these people of the idea and just like how it pitched out, and maybe they'll fund me the game idea and then just go from there. But we'll see. We'll see how that turns out. Yeah, I don't know what other topics there are other than yeah, just those topics. I want to go back in to modeling and do whatever for my game I'm working on. And like I said, if anybody is interested on my Patreon, it's literally on my Twitter. It's there on my link bio. It's literally just called lnk.bio/hfunny. It should be in there, but if it's not, I'll check. Oh yeah, it is there. It's definitely there. So yeah, it'll just say Patreon on there. If anybody's like, you know, a member, you'll get to see whatever I have on there, but that's your choice. I'm not gonna, you know, enforce that. Like I said, everybody has their choice. I mean, obviously your guys' money is more important of what you want to do with it, especially when it comes to like food bills and whatnot. Maybe even buying a gift for your friends and family. That's more important. But I would be so happy if anybody did, regardless of that. But like I said, I just started up this Patreon. I don't expect anything much, and I will try to at least like post a thing or two, whatever progress I make out of it. But with that though, yeah, I don't know. I think we could just call it good for tonight, or at least today. It's not even night for me. It's like literally, it just turned 4 for me. But yeah, I don't know. There's really nothing else to talk about. I mean, literally, I just spewed out what I wanted to express, my thoughts. I guess that is pretty much it. I won't be streaming tomorrow, obviously, because Sunday, Jesus Day. But I'm going to at least try and stream again sometime in this coming week. Maybe stream on my birthday. I most likely will do my best to at least stream on my birthday and see what we can do there. But other than that, though, like, yeah, there's nothing else for me to talk about. I enjoyed doing the stream. I appreciate anybody who actually stopped by and chat with me, whether that was like on Twitter/X, Kick, YouTube. I don't think anybody ever said anything on YouTube. Yeah, really, literally nobody. So, yeah, it's, I mean, literally, it's just been a long week. Literally, it has been a long week for me, and I am at least... like looking forward to what this next project has in stores. I'm really excited for this next game. Like I said, if anybody wants to know what this next game is, be a member of my Patreon if you wish to get anything out of it. I'm gonna at least try and post whatever I can as much as possible. I just need to be more active on it, and I need to be more active when it comes to me modeling things, programming some things. We had to reprogram the whole player controller in Unreal Engine, which is wild for me to say. But yeah, I'm not gonna copy the old one and put it on there, because I want to at least like make it at least unique when it comes to the player controller gameplay wise. But yeah, like I said, I hope everyone's doing well. I appreciate everyone who stopped by and chat with me on the stream. And I really hope that everyone has a good Saturday, because y'all are gonna definitely need it. Yeah, I appreciate y'all though. I hope I see you guys in the next stream. I don't know when. I have to like wait sometime later on today. What my schedule is like for next week. But I'll come back to streaming though. Maybe, and I 100%, well, not 100%. I hope that I will actually stream again on my birthday. It probably won't be like a long ass stream, but we'll see. It's been like it's been 2 hours since I streamed. Wow, that's actually kind of crazy. But yeah, no, I hope you guys enjoyed. I appreciate everybody, like I said. So I hope you guys have a good evening. Deuces. God bless.